Even though more than 7 years have passed from the launch of Super Mario Odyssey, this game is still one of, if not the best 3D platformer ever created. But why? How did Nintendo manage to create such a great platformer that is still relevant to this day and will also be a good game for many years to come? If you wanna find out the answer, just watch this video till the end, and without further ado, let's get started. First of all, let's find out what made this game stand out. Well, it was a combination of really nice mechanic that allowed you to capture your enemies using Cappy, which is Mario's hat, fantastic new speedrunning tricks you are now able to perform thanks to Cappy, and really fluid movement. That's basically it. Oh, and also the kingdoms this game introduced were amazing. But we'll discuss about this later on in this video. So yeah, there aren't many elements that contributed to make Super Mario Odyssey amazing, but they're executed so well that they make the game run seamlessly and actually be tons of fun to play. For example, the ability to capture your enemies like Goombas, Koopa Troopas, Bullet Bills, and many other foes using Cappy is extremely polished and practical. It always comes in handy to capture a certain foe that's going to help you out on lots of stuff, like solving a puzzle, doing some platforming, or collecting power moons that require captures. And also, it's really polished, like I said earlier. It always does what you want it to do, when you want it to do. Only by press of a button. Yeah, it's actually really practical and convenient, like mostly every other aspect of this game. Now, let's move on to my favorite aspect of Odyssey. Its kingdoms. If you don't know what they are, well, they're basically the worlds of Super Mario Odyssey. In total, there are 14 kingdoms, each one being quite innovative and creative, while, most importantly, still being different enough from the other worlds so it doesn't seem repetitive. I think that these games' worlds are actually the best from any other 3D Mario games out there. They are simply tons of fun to explore, look fantastic, don't feel too similar compared to the other kingdoms, and they're packed with puzzles and power moons to collect so that you won't get bored quickly. Personally, I find the Sand Kingdom, Lantern Kingdom, and Lost Kingdom to be the best out there. But a lot of people don't agree with me. Instead, they consider Metro Kingdom, also called New Donk City, to be the best world without a doubt. Yeah, I get the fact that it's a really cool concept in which Mario is exploring a city occupied by humans and can interact with people whenever he wants, but I just don't find it to be as good as the worlds mentioned earlier. But I'll have to leave this choice up to you, because of course we've all got different opinions. So, to recap, the kingdoms of Mario Odyssey are a really strong factor of this game. They're unique, look amazing, and you'll have a lot of stuff to do before getting bored. You can solve puzzles, collect power moons, and capture enemies that are specific to only a certain kingdom, like the Uproot for example. Overall, they are fantastic. Another thing I do really like about Mario Odyssey are the graphics. This is by far one of the best looking games on Switch. Everything is full of vibrant colors and packed with details, especially Mario, boss battles, and other common enemies. Also, the kingdoms look fantastic, and because they're so different from each other, not even the graphics look too similar when compared. The way Odyssey looks is by far one of my favorite things about it. Now, let's talk about how well this game holds up even 8 years after release, and why I consider it will still look decent even after many more years to come. Like I said a couple seconds ago, this game is one of the best looking Switch titles to this day. But why has it aged so well? The answer is quite simple. You see, over time games that used to have top-notch graphics will turn into games that aren't really pleasing to look at. Let's take Twilight Princess as an example. While, on the other hand, games that have got really cartoony, childish graphics, like Mario games, will look much better even decades after their release. As an example of this kind of game is Zelda The Wind Waker. Even though this game was released 23 years ago, it still looks decent nowadays in today's modern world. The reason why this works is quite easy to understand. So, the childish style of Mario and other similar games doesn't change that much over time. Yes, the newer games will have better looking colors and textures, but overall they won't make that big of a difference. But the games that try to be the best looking on the market nowadays are going to look obsolete in 10 years, because technology improves so quickly. The best example I can give you is the Wind Waker compared to Twilight Princess. Even though the Wind Waker is 4 years older, it looks much better nowadays compared to Twilight Princess thanks to its childish graphics. Yeah, that's the reason why I consider that Super Mario Odyssey will still look awesome even after a long time from now on. If you disagree with me, feel free to correct me in the comments down below. Also, if you enjoyed this clip, I'd be really grateful if you could leave me a like, a subscribe, and some feedback in the comment section. I was David, bye, have a nice day.